This is the business side of Podiatry revenue. Our mission is to be your guiding light on the path of success. Delve into the wealth of knowledge and gain insight through exclusive interviews with the industry expert. Your success story begins here. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Giselle. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to start this podcast.
Yes.
And help the doctors to be successful and reach the next level for their career.
Really, that's what we do. That's what we do. And actually, we have a passion for that.
True.
Which makes it even more exciting because we love what we do.
I'm here with Tina. Then Tina has huge experience with podiatry and practice management and practice owner and practice consultant. So the volume of your experience, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it tells how old I am. No. But I do have over 2 decades of experience, not only consulting and working with doctors all over our country, but also managing my husband's own podiatry practice, which he just retired from. And I had to close down. So now I have experience in how to close down a medical practice. It's almost as much work to close one down as to open one.
Unbelievable. We do work with doctors that you help them, and we see the difference that you bring to the doctors.
That's wonderful.
Help them get organized. And all this reflect into the billing and the cash flow, the work that you do.
Absolutely.
So, so tell me a little bit how you help the doctors.
Okay. Well, I'll just briefly go into years ago, I met Rem Jackson, who is the CEO and founder of Top Practices. And he and I just happened to connect. And he started referring his doctors to me because he realized as he was teaching them how to market their practices, they were growing, but they weren't able to manage all the patients coming in, and the practice was actually crumbling inside because it didn't have the foundational structure or the management to take that growth on. So he would refer them to me, and I'd go in after the fact and try and fix things. Mm-hmm. And I mentioned to him, Rem, really, marketing and management needs to go together. They need to do it at the same time because as they're growing, they need to get all their systems and protocols in place. So we joined teams, and of course with Dr. Peter Wishney, and that's what we do. We do marketing and management, and they're growing in a much better way because they're able to manage the growth because they manage the practice better. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that I specialize in with the Virtual Practice Management Institute is helping doctors and either their office managers or team leads and staff become more efficient, train them for what's coming so that they can manage that inflow and growth of the practice. And one of the big things that I have found is that doctors think that, okay, I'm going to hire a front office person. You're going to do these 10 things. And so they teach them how to maybe verify benefits, and they teach them how to maybe check or for a co-payment. But they never tell them why. Why they need to do those things. The doctor never tells them their vision for the practice, what they're actually doing and what the value of that employee actually is. All of your people need to understand their purpose, and they need to know their value to the practice.
Right.
And that makes them valuable. They're more likely going to want to do those things.
Absolutely.
Because they understand. And that takes having a training program. That takes them understanding why they do what they do and how it not only benefits them, it's that patient. How does this benefit the patient? How does this benefit the practice overall?
Right.
But then not only the benefit to the practice, each person in the practice needs to understand their value.
And you nail that because when the patient first, they spend less time with the doctor, they spend more time with the staff.
Absolutely.
And they many times come to the staff and start talk about their problems, And that's when the staff can, one, feed the doctor about that, and two, tell the patient, well, talk to the doctor about this,
Right.
and then start selling whatever
Right.
it is.
And that's part of the training. When you train your staff and you have, ancillary services that you provide in your office for patients, what that treatment is, what it does, how it helps the patient and the doctor, because he wouldn't have time to do it. And he didn't hear everything. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't,
And it allows them, when the physician feels comfortable and knows that their staff are trained and they're only saying what the doctor would say.
What triggered the doctors to come to you? They identify, okay, I cannot handle this problem myself. What triggered them to reach out to you that you see the most time?
Lately, it's been they are struggling because they still have their patients, or their patients, they're getting bad reports from their patients about the staff. And so they know that their staff need further training, yet, not very often can they take them to a conference so they can have virtual training in their office in specific areas. And some of the main areas that I virtually go into offices is not only professionalism, but it's collecting up front and, promoting, products. And so the doctors, those are things that they don't teach, but they have the option to have it taught to their staff right there and answer questions. But a lot of times it's, I feel like, I've cut an artery, money's going somewhere and I don't know what's going on. And so we have to look at the whole thing, at what's best for the practice and where possible changes could be made. But I would say probably in the last few years, it's because either they have more patients than people that can manage them and they need to figure out what to do, or they can't get people to work in the practices. They're losing people, which is a sad thing. But that causes frustration, which again causes that lack of, I just want to get a person in here, and then they're not really fully onboarded and trained to become that medical professional that they want them to.
Extremely important to have the supporting team back them up, because not just the front office, but the whole team that make this practice operating. Which will be the vendor, the billing, the consultation, somebody they can go and talk to, absolutely, it's so important.
Yeah. Well, and you can attest to, in our practice, we thoroughly believed that everyone was part of the team, and having an outside billing company working with us. My team talked with people in your office all the time. And emailed them all the time. It's a group of people working, to provide every aspect of the practice, whether it be in clinical or administrative billing, to keep the revenue up in the practice, because we knew that's the only way we could keep the doors open. And it took a team.
Yes, it does take a team. You cannot build an empire by yourself.
Absolutely.
You need a team of, armor, working with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On the ground. Right. Yeah. And embracing those people, letting them know how you value them if you're the physician or the office manager. And it's not just, well, I pay them.
Yes.
No, they need to know, first of all, why you even want them there.
Yes.
What's their purpose?
Yeah, they're all part of it.
Yeah.
It's one team. So there is not, I like soccer, and then I was watching these, Beckman was brought to a California team, and he was the only starter, and he couldn't win and he was getting frustrated because he was the only professional player on that team.
Yeah.
And everybody else had playing soccer with the second job, and then he could not have the score, because he didn't have somebody to pass the ball, somebody to make the game with him.
Right.
And that was frustrating. So it's the same for a medical doctor.
Yeah.
If the doctor is the big star, but everybody else is a second-hand one, you're not going to win, because you do need this star everywhere in your practice.
Everybody. Yeah. You know what? That's because it's so true, is that without all of us there, the practice can't run.
Yeah.
And that starts at the top. They need to realize that, you know, you need that support team. And if you want people to support, they need to understand the vision and their purpose,
right,
and that they have value to all of that.
Yes.
Yep.
So nice, Tina, talking to you.
Oh, you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us how people can get to you, how people can contact you.
Very easy. Tina at toppractices.com.
Okay, Tina.
Yep.
Looking forward to our next, chatting.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
We are looking forward to our next episode. Your questions and comments fuel our discussions, so keep them coming. Don't miss out on the latest updates. Hit the subscribe button and stay connected with us on this journey of success.